Hello, everyone. It's Mr. Spectacular here. Welcome to another episode of Technically Speaking. In case you're watching this later, this is April 20th, 2022, just around 1-2 p.m. Before we get into any of the content, let me throw out a big, massive disclaimer. I'm just a guy on the internet, guys. This is not financial advice. This should be treated as education and hopefully a bit of entertainment. If you're looking for financial advice, go talk to a financial advisor. And like I always do, my good old Polish disclaimer, don't be an idiot. Don't trade like an idiot because you can lose your money. And then you're going to come crying to me, oh, I lost my money. Well, I told you. So you should have listened. Now, what we're going to do today is look over what's been happening in the crypto markets and some of the indicators and levels that I'm watching going forward, because we are in a pretty choppy territory. First thing we're going to look at is the Bitcoin dominance chart. So we've had our bottom right around here, mid of January, and we've had Bitcoin dominance keep increasing, and we've peaked out at 44% just at the beginning of March, and we've been dropping ever since. However, we have stalled out just around here the last couple of weeks, around 41.3%. So obviously there's going to be anomalies, but we're not going to see alts massively outperforming Bitcoin, and they're still very much dependent on Bitcoin doing well. Now, if we were to break down below this level, we would very likely see alts really going crazy. And if that happens, pay attention, because nothing lasts forever, especially in crypto, as you may have seen if you've been around for a while. So looking at the total market cap, we've had a nice rise from here. We've broken out of this pattern right here, and we've peaked out just around the 2.618 fib extension. We've pulled back from here. We got ejected. We broke through all those levels to the bottom. But interestingly enough, and that's something I was actually surprised with, see this line here that was forming this pattern? We've pretty much bounced off of it. So as of this moment, it seems as if things are going up. The RSI is looking pretty good, pretty healthy as well. And what I will be watching is if we actually continue to break above these levels. And if we do, obviously happy days. If not, I might be considering to trim some of my positions off, because like I've stated in previous videos, I'm pretty bearish for this year overall. I don't expect any all-time highs. If anything, I expect a $20,000 Bitcoin at some point due to obviously the Fed monetary policy. So that's something that I'll be watching very closely. Now looking at the total twos, again, pretty similar situation. We've broken out of this pattern here, had a nice run up, got rejected. This time not from the fib, but from this level here. And again, this time we bounced off of this line, which was forming this pattern. And in the case of the total freeze, well, this thing just does whatever it wants at the moment. But overall, last 3 days, we've been in an uptrend. We've seen, well, not really. We've had a couple up days. Okay, let's just be precise. We're not in an uptrend. We are down, way down. Okay, if this looks like an uptrend, it doesn't. Okay, we're still in a choppy range. However, again, RSI is looking pretty good. We seem to have found some support right around here, and I will be watching if we continue to break above these levels as we did before, and if we actually get to the 817 billion level for the total freeze, then I will be really, really watching closely if we break above it, because that's our alts, guys. That's all, everything except Bitcoin and Ethereum, which essentially is where we can have our biggest gains, but it also comes with the biggest risk. So again, we are at a pretty critical level here. Interesting to see which way we're going to go. If we break down, this thing just might continue going down. However, if we break above this and hold, again, I'll be watching if we continue to go up. What's pretty likely is maybe a close above today, wick down before we actually continue going up. Now, a couple of things we'll look at before we look into Bitcoin specifically. Volatility index, again, peaked out around here. This thing's in the way. Sorry, guys. There we go. Peaked out around here, beginning of March. We've had a nice drop in volatility, which usually comes with the rise of prices. And the last 2 weeks. I can't believe this is 2 weeks, guys. Seriously. The last 2 weeks, we've had a bit of a rise in volatility. The prices have been dropping across stocks and crypto, mainly due to the fears of Fed, again, further switching off the money printer and focusing primarily on inflation. Last couple of days had a drop. The prices have been, as we have seen, moving gradually up. And let's just quickly look at the dollar index. So this thing has just been going up. Now, we've had a bit of resistance around this level here, the 99.5. Couldn't break above it, pulled back, couldn't break above it. And now that we've broken through, this thing's held right around here. And now we've been going up the last couple of days. Bit of a pullback today, but what's interesting is we are approaching the 100% level of our fib retracement, which the last time we have seen these levels for the dollar is, well, perfectly 20th of March 2020, which also coincided with massive drops in prices. If we zoom out, well, not zoom out, spread this out so we can see this more clearly. This was a massive run up here towards the dollar, but that was when all the lockdowns were starting worldwide. And at the time, the price of Bitcoin, it was nowhere near where we are today. I believe it was around $9,000. Let me actually check. Yeah, March 2020, Bitcoin bottomed out at $4,000, not even $9,000. We did drop from 10K though, so keep that in mind. But we are approaching similar levels with the dollar index as we had when Bitcoin was a quarter of the price. So it will be very interesting to see. I would say we are probably going to reach this level. This is just me speculating. I would say we probably are going to reach this level. And then, like, this is almost the highest we've been back in March 2020. So the only time we were higher was December 2016. So it will be interesting to see what's going to happen if we actually reach here. Are we going to keep going up? Or is this thing going to get rejected from here? And we start seeing some pump in the assets, at least for the short term. So one thing you got to remember, guys, this is This is none of this, okay, we're all going to get rich, we're all going to make it. If Bitcoin goes to 100K, we're all going to be millionaires. None of that. Because somebody, for prices to go up, somebody has to put more money in, which then pumps your bags. And then if you sell, well, they get left holding the bag. So you got to think about this as from the standpoint of strategy, from the standpoint of warfare, from the standpoint of chess and martial arts. Like I always like to compare it to jiu-jitsu. If you're on a white belt level, your moves are pretty obvious. It's like I go for this, you defend this, and we just go back and forth on obvious stuff. The higher up the ranks you go and the more you develop, it becomes more of I do something to make my opponent react, which exposes him to what I actually want. And you can do this on infinite levels. Same with chess, same with poker. In poker, you don't play the cards, you play the man. And again, it can go on multiple levels. So you think about, okay, first you think about what you have and what you can do. Then you think about what your opponent has and what he can do. Then you think about what he thinks what you think about what he thinks that you think that he has, and it can go on infinite levels. So with the case of Bitcoin and crypto, I think, and I've stated this in previous videos, so I don't want to be repeating myself for eternity, but I think we're definitely seeing 30K this year. And I think 20K is very much on the table. Now, we're not just going to go straight down because that would be too obvious. And with you and me, we don't have billions and billions and billions of dollars invested into this. So you and me, we can just, okay, press a button, sell our stuff. But the big players in the market, the ones that are actually painting these charts, the ones that are actually dictating where things are going to go, they need to play things strategically. And again, in one of the episodes, I think it was actually the first one, we explained how they engineer liquidity. So if you haven't watched that, go back and have a look. It's in the playlist. For their sell orders to be filled, they need other people to come in and buy. They need exit liquidity. So they can't just straight up and dump it. They have to have people come in and basically buy what they're selling. That's why you should never be buying from a willing seller. You should be buying from an unwilling seller. You should be buying capitulation. So let's look into more of the Bitcoin charts. So again, on the fib extensions, we broke about this level. Boom. Got objective, went down. Now looks like we're going to retest this level again. On the retracement side, again, briefly, very briefly, we got above this level here. That's 0.382. Got rejected, broke even below this one. And now we are again retesting this, see if it holds. Now for the levels that I drew out myself, looks pretty similar, but again, got rejected off of this level, broke below a couple of the levels that we conquered before, seems to have found some support over here, and now we're going up. And again, can we hold 42? We're at 42 right now. Can we close above it? Can we then conquer 43 and so on? Our side is looking pretty good, so I think there might be a chance. However, again, we're entering a very, very critical time. I don't think this thing is going to go anywhere near all-time highs. I don't think this thing's going to go anywhere near 100K like all the guys on Twitter and YouTube are saying. if we get 52, great, awesome. Maybe 59, maybe 58, 56, maybe somewhere in the high 50s. But if we do start getting to that level, I'll literally be watching this with a sniper rifle, with a finger on the sell button. That's what I'll be doing. You guys do what you want, but this is just my strategy. Because we have not seen massive retail FOMO come in yet. This is just traders. This is the guys, the ones of us that have stuck around from this. We didn't leave. We didn't be like, okay, crypto's done. After this crash, we didn't leave. We're still here. But all the dumb money, as we say, they're not massively in. They've not hit levels of FOMO that we've seen before, levels of greed that we've seen before, where you're at a 60K Bitcoin and people are calling for 300 now or 250. However, if we break above and hold 48, that's when I think it's going to start. And that's when I'm going to be looking to get out, because that's exit liquidity, guys. Unless we get a World War III and Americans have to turn on the money printer again, which I would rather not happen. I would much rather short it all to the ground than see the world burn. That's just me. So yeah, like I said, this is all a play. This is all a psychological play. None of this has to do with technology right now. This is all to do with the psychology of the market. You're trading psychology of the market participants. Anyway, that would be my little psychological, philosophical rant. Let's just quickly look at the fear and greed before we go back to the charts for a minute. Yeah, we're at 27, which fear, we were in extreme fear a couple days ago, last week. But remember, this thing changes very fast. Not so long ago, 28th of March, so just under a month ago, we were at 60. We were in greed territory. Now we've dropped back down to as low as 20. So this market's very fragile, guys. Be very careful how you play this. So looking at a couple of things in the markets again, the stocks, all this stuff is correlated. So if you see stocks drop, most likely everything else goes drop. Well, everything else regarding crypto. Again, bottom data right here, had this nice run up. And then last 2-3 weeks, we have things that have just been dropping. And again, we've seen a bit of a rise up the last 3 days. We'll see what happens when the markets open up today. By the time you see this video, they've probably already opened, so you'll be able to see for yourself. Quite similar for the US 100, Vanguard. In the pre-market, it looks like things are going to go up. Let's just quickly look at some commodities. So gold moves pretty much inversely to Bitcoin. So gold's been going up. And now the last couple of days when we've had good days in crypto, gold's been dropping, similar to silver. Now, as for oil, again, it seems to have slightly calmed down because we've had this ridiculous rise in prices. So, welcome to the game, guys. Welcome to crypto. And just a final word of warning before we wrap it up and go on with our lives. Again, be very, very careful what you listen to, what you believe. Because there's always some agenda. Always look for the agenda. Always try to dig deep into the reasons why something is being promoted. And yeah, like I said at the start, don't trade like an idiot. So hope you found this video valuable. If you did, smash a like. Also, let me know in the comments below the main things you found useful. Also, you can always comment for stuff you'd like me to cover in future videos. If you like this sort of stuff and you would like to see the trades that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, there's a link in the description if you're watching on YouTube, and in our bio if you're watching on Instagram. You can join our trading inner circle, where again I post all the moves that I'm making, all the trades that I'm making, what I'm thinking. And yeah, you can find this pretty useful. So hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Have a spectacular day, and I will see you in the next video.